Berry, and I will be your moderator today. Welcome to the Marin County Commission on Aging monthly presentation with the emphasis on serving older adults. First, let's go through the meeting rules. The meeting is being recorded. If you don't want to be recorded, you'll want to stop your video. There is closed captioning. Please use the closed captioning tab at the bottom of the screen. We will keep everybody muted except for the speaker. Panelists will present first with 15 minutes on each topic. We will hold Q&A to the end. Please put your questions in chat. Jasmina will help monitor the chat and she will consolidate similar questions. After the presentation, we will then go through the questions in chat. If we run out of time, we'll save the chat and email the answers to you. One of the commission's goals is to connect with our seniors. So before I start, I would like to give a quick introduction about the commission. The Marin County Commission on Aging is the largest commission for the county, and we serve the advisory role to the Marin County Public Health, Aging and Adult Services, with Lee Pollan as the director for the department. There are 23 commissioners, with 2 appointed by each of the 5 supervisors and 1 appointed by each of the 10 cities. There are also 2 representatives to the California Senior Legislature. I represent District 5 under Supervisor Judy Arnold. The commissioners also serve as liaisons to other aging-related organizations, such as Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council, Senior Information Fair Committee, Aging Action Initiative Steering Committee, Mental Health Service Advisory, Financial Abuse Specialist Team, Paratransit Coordinating Council, and Citizens Oversight on Transportation of Marine voluntary organizations active in the disaster. Last but not least, age-friendly. Currently, there are 4 subject-related committees: Health and Nutrition, Housing and Transportation, Legislative, and the newest one, Equity, Outreach, and Advocacy. Each of the committees rotate to sponsor the monthly presentations. This brings us to today's presentation. Today's presentation is hosted by the Housing and Transportation Committee, and the topic is Safe and Healthy Living at Home for Older Adults. This presentation will provide much needed information about older adults, about how older adults can improve their homes to ensure sustainable, safe, and healthy independent living. Because we have 3 different topics, so we want to start right away, each with 15 minutes. We have a great lineup, and let's get started. Jasmina Astomonic, Commissioner representing West Marin, will introduce our first set of presenters. Jasmina, please. Jasmina, yeah. You want to unmute?
Okay, here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Jasmina Etemovic. I am representing District 4, West Marin, and I will introduce our first 2 presenters this morning. Tonique McNair is Assistive Technology Advocate with Marin Center for Independent Living. Marin Center for Independent Living is our local nonprofit, exists to assist persons with all types of disabilities to achieve their maximum level of sustainable independence as contributing responsible and equal participants in society. And Tim Stevens, he is in charge of business development for Home Safety Services. Home Safety Services mission is to increase quality of life for seniors and enhance their ability to live at home as independently as possible. So let's welcome Tim and Tonique.
Thank you. Is it possible to share screen, or I can just start with the share? There we go. Share. Okay. Okay, thank you for having us here to share this information. As she mentioned, Jasmina mentioned, I'm going to talk a little bit about who we are and how you can participate with our program to receive the assistance that particularly that we're offering, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Tim to discuss his portion of it. Okay, so again, assistive technology advocate at Marin Center for Independent Living, and Yasmina discussed our mission, and basically really to assist everybody who, or anyone that has any type of disability or an older adult that wants to continue living independently in their home. We want to be there to assist with that. And what we've come to find out here in Marin particularly, more and more individuals are aging and want to stay in their homes. So as a result, the homes may require some type of modification while they're in the home. And so we want to assist with that process. What we do is we offer different types of home modifications. For like, I want to go through like grab bars, ramps, bath shower conversions, stair lifts, and grab bars. That's just a few. We offer a lot of other types of accessible modifications, but those are some of the basic ones. And the one thing that's important and something that we do is that we tailor the program to meet the individual's need. So every person that calls may not need just the grab bars. They may need something particular for their own individual situation. So we will work with them to help them with that process. Something else that kind of puts us out there is that we offer project management from start to finish of the whole project. So once you apply for the service, which I'll go into a little bit after, once you are able to apply for our services, and it's basically income based, and as well as a person who has some type of disability, then we will assist you with that process. Our projects, as I mentioned, are designed to meet your individual need wherever you are. In addition to providing the home modifications, we also provide referrals to resources in the community to help you find durable medical equipment. Just recently, someone wanted to donate a Hoyer lift, and it was timely because right after that, another person was in need of a Hoyer lift. So we were able to connect the individuals together to be able to make the transition as easy as possible. Okay, these are just a list of some of the medical equipment that's available and that we try to assist individuals in obtaining. Again, as I said, that we tailor our program to meet the individual wherever they are. And I really enjoy receiving requests that I haven't heard of. So I like to go look to find out where we can find this item in the community, or, you know, somebody with our network. We have an AT network that can assist with this other equipment. We also to obtain the program that I just talked about, this is the basic information to obtain a voucher or income voucher for the funding, the program that we talked about. And then Tim is going to talk about our program that we're partnering within the community to provide dignity at home. He will discuss the home safety qualifications and infection control and a few other things. The Dignity at Home program, I wanted to say that if you can check our website has the basic qualifications and what you need for that. And also you can give me a call if you want. My phone number is included. I believe, on there, but for anyone that is interested and has a question afterwards, my phone number is 415-754-3923. So with that, I'm going to go ahead on and stop sharing and turn it over to Tim to be able to discuss the qualifications and so on for his program, which is Home Safety Services.
Hello, how are you? Thanks, Shanique. That was great. And I appreciate the opportunity to address the group today. My name is Tim Stevens. I'm with Home Safety Services. We're a regional home modifications company specializing in falls prevention. And I wanted to briefly discuss the Dignity Home program and how we fit into that, into the integration of the program. Just briefly, Dignity Home program was created out of a Senate bill about 2 years ago. The state finally funded this program with much needed monies to help prevent falls in seniors and low-income people's homes. And what was one of the special things about Dignity at Home and the funding behind this was to my knowledge, it's one of the first programs that actually stresses home modifications. Most of the other grants that have been available really targeted movement, exercise, which is fantastic. It's a needed part, but they never really addressed home modifications. And this was the first time that the state actually said these monies were specifically meant for home modifications. And I'm going to share my screen, kind of give you a brief overview of how we fit into the situation. So let's just do this if I can. Okay. Can everybody see my screen there? It looks a little disjointed there. Hang on.
If you go to slideshow and then begin at the beginning there. Do you see that slideshow?
Slideshow.
At the top of your.
I can't access it. Okay, let's try this. Well, let's see here.
Can you access any of those buttons there, Tim?
I have a black bar that's prohibiting me from accessing.
Well,
my...
we can see if you want to just go
Okay.
on.
It's okay. Can you see the whole slide or just part of the slide?
No, we see the whole slide.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll just work with this then. So Home Safety Services, we're a regional home modifications company. We've been in business for over 20 years. Our main office is based in Burlingame. We have an office up in Sacramento and a depot down in Modesto. So we serve most of California down to Visalia and up to the Oregon and Nevada border. And we have a contract with the VA, and that sends us in many different directions. And that's really expanded our reach, not only for the vets, but also for private pay and third-party payers like the AAA and also MCIL. When we first started business, we decided to set ourselves apart from the competition and handyman. So we're not only a contractor, but we're licensed, bonded, insured, certified. We have several different types of credentials, from aging in place to environmental. And it's really allowed us to be set apart and do this type of work and help our community partners. All of our technicians are hired and trained by us. We don't hire any subs. They arrive in vans that all are uniform and they look the same. So we're presenting a type of image to our clients that says not only home mods, but this is a medical necessity. And all our techs are trained in assessment and single visit installations. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So we're quite proud of this. Our infection control protocols were very high prior to COVID because we have the Joint Commission Accreditation seal, which is the same gold seal that is utilized by the hospitals skilled nursing facilities, and the medical profession. And that really sets us apart. In fact, we're one of the, I think we're the only home modification provider in California that has a seal, and I think we're one of two in the whole United States that have endeavored to get this seal and to maintain it. We've been reaccredited now 3 times. So when COVID hit, we decided to increase our infection protocols, and we instituted a use of masks, booties, gloves, and goggles, daily staff temperature checks and screening of all of our clients the night before we enter their homes and 30 minutes prior to entering their homes to do work, social distance, and of course, sanitization of all surfaces in our trucks and also at our office. And then we also instituted virtual home assessments, which has been quite nice for the patients who haven't wanted people to come into their homes. So just briefly, what we're doing with MCIL and the Dignity at Home program. Of course, grab bars is a big part of it. To date, we've installed over 30,000 grab bars since we've been in business. And grab bars really started the home modifications trend. And now you can find grab bars in all shapes and sizes, colors, textures. They can be custom made, custom length. We're placing them all throughout the home, not just in the bathroom, but in the garages, on the entrance to homes. And it's really expanded the use of grab bars in throughout the house. And just as a side note, we never use any suction cup grab bars. All of our grab bars are attached to the wall. We just don't find there's enough safety to the suction cup, grab bars. One of the other types of products that we're utilizing in the Dignity at Home program is modifications in and around the toilet. So that could be grab bars, that could be risers, that could be an advantage pole, safety frames. There are many different types of solutions in and around the toilet for the clients. Another item that Dignity at Home provides is floor to ceiling poles or just transfer poles. And you can see the different applications. One is near the bed, that's quite common. And then also one is near the toilet and the shower. So that serves a dual purpose. So it can be used to enter and leave the shower or also used for toileting. And these are just some of the items that are available at Dignity at Home. As Tanique mentioned, that ramps are available, but ramps is they're more expensive, and it'll be used sparingly because of that expense. But we also have lesser types of ramps, which are rubber ramps, suitcase ramps, and those are much less expensive than the modular aluminum ramps. And that's it I have for the slides here. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them. I'll unshare my screen here. There we go.
I think we're going to take question and answers at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if Tonique want to add anything in there, or we'll just go to the next set of speakers for now. Okay.
I will just say, thank you, Tim. I will just say that if anybody is interested, as I mentioned, to check our website for both the Dignity at Home program, as well as any additional home modification that they're interested in, I'll be happy to answer any questions or assist them with the process.
All right, thank you. So we also want to thank Jasmina and Tonique and team for making this presentation. And we're going to go to the next section, and I would like to have Sybil Bottiglia, who is the Commissioner for Sausalito City, to come and introduce her speakers. Thanks, Sybil. Yeah. You want to unmute yourself? There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sylvia. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sybil Bottiglia, Commissioner from Sausalito. I have the honor of introducing Michelle Nochisaki, who's the customer programs manager at Marin Clean Energy. She's also on the steering committee of the Aging Action Initiative in Marin. And she has over 11 years of experience working in energy and has spent the last 4 years engaged in promoting the intersection of health and energy efficiency for residential property. She was managing the Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, and now that has become the MCE Healthy Homes program. So she'll be discussing what makes a healthy home and what role energy efficiency plays, and introduce some new programs that are being offered that she will be coordinating. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, Sybil,
Can
and thank
you-
you everyone for having me present to you today. Bear with me for a moment. I'm not a normal Zoom user, so bear with me while I pull up my presentation and share my screen. Slideshow, beginning. Share screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, but you want to play
Yes.
the slideshow if you can.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
There we go, yeah.
Okay, so thank you again for having me. As Sybil said, my name is Michelle Natrasaki. I am a customer programs manager at MCE. Here to talk to you about some programs that we are offering, and kind of the nexus of health and energy as we see it from MCE side. Okay, video's back. Is that better? Okay. Okay, here we are. So for folks who don't know, MCE is California's first community choice aggregator, or CCA, which means that we are a renewable energy provider that is focused on not only providing additional renewable energy, but reinvesting our revenue back into the communities that we serve. And kind of how that works or what that looks like. Essentially, MCE takes on the generation portion of electricity, then coordinates with PG&E to essentially deliver the service business as usual in order to deliver greener, more renewable energy to our customers at the end. So a little bit about MCE's mission. Our mission is to address climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, increasing renewable energy, providing energy efficiency programs, keeping our rates stable and competitive, and focused on economic and local workforce benefits, while also driving for equitable community support. For folks who don't know, today we serve just over 35 member communities in the counties of Marin, Contra Costa, Napa, and Solano. So given that we are a community choice aggregator, right? Community is truly at the forefront of the work that we do. And what that allows for us as an agency is to put more emphasis on our communities, on the customer experience, and provide, more innovative program service models as a way to better invest our dollars into the community and better just serve the communities that we serve. So one of the ways that we're able to do this is think outside of the box of traditional energy efficiency services and expand onto things like healthy homes, or essentially a more comprehensive approach to our home energy efficiency services. And so that brings me to what we call the 8 elements of a healthy home, or kind of what we view as like the full comprehensive approach to what living in a green and healthy home would look like. And so obviously energy efficiency is up there. well ventilated, has to do with indoor air quality, well maintained, nice space for folks to live in, for them to feel comfortable, as well as also allow for things like proper ventilation and energy efficiency. Dry space, we don't want to be creating any kind of mold or moisture, or essentially, again, like an indoor air quality issue. Cleanliness, going to comfort, contaminant free, that kind of speaks for itself. Pest free, again, not only for comfort level of residents, but also, again, the indoor air quality issues that come along with that. And then they're safe. And safe is kind of where we put, say, things like accessibility measures, or items that fall specifically to Marin County's aging population under that bucket. And so essentially, when we think of what makes a healthy home and what MCE can provide in terms of healthy home services, we're looking at the entire comprehensive picture. And so this takes me into healthy homes in Marin County. And I believe, you know, in the introduction, Sybil already said that I was the head of a program called Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, which MCE was a partner of, which then later transformed into MCE Healthy Homes. And so what that initial initiative's goal was to essentially deliver comprehensive services to Marin County's disadvantaged communities that were going to improve the energy efficiency, the health, the safety, and the accessibility of those residents. And so both the Green and Healthy Homes Initiative and today's MCE Healthy Homes is currently funded by Marin Community Foundation. It is only a program that we offer in Marin County. And it not only kind of like builds off of energy efficiency, but it also leverages numerous partner agencies in the community and their existing programs and services as well. And so what does this look like, or kind of like what are the program's offerings? So again, it's focused on improving energy efficiency, health, safety, and accessibility for Marin County's disadvantaged communities. So the MCE Healthy Homes program essentially takes the funding provided by Marin Community Foundation and layers funding on top of Marin County's Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP. And so this program is available for folks in the county who are at or below 200% federal poverty level. And the coordination with LIHEAP is essentially seamless in terms of start to finish technical assistance, project management, and quality assurance. And so how the program works is a qualifying resident would apply through Marin County's LIHEAP program. And when LIHEAP comes out to do a home assessment, not only will that resident receive an assessment for the traditional energy efficiency measures provided by LIHEAP at no cost, but they will receive an expanded home assessment that also takes a look into the home's health, safety, and accessibility measures. And again, that coordination is behind the scenes. So what the customer ends up getting is, you know, an application through LIHEAP, an assessment at home, a scope of work that LIHEAP develops that again is expanded to include those health and safety and accessibility measures. And what MCE does is essentially provide up to $5,000 in those additional services for that resident. So it's no cost LIHEAP energy efficiency measures, as well as no cost health, safety, and accessibility measures. And in some cases, you know, when a resident needs more than what, say, LIHEAP or MCE Healthy Homes can provide, both in terms of the cost of the measures or in terms of expertise, that is when we then go back to our existing community partners and leverage their programs and services. So we've had a few successful projects, you know, I'll mention since Tonique is on with MCIL, where they have been the ones to provide the bathroom upgrades for the senior residents, while we have taken care of removing the wood smoke due to respiratory illnesses that both of the residents had. And so it really is kind of our goal is to essentially layer as many services and as much funding as possible to give that, to essentially leave the customer with a true green and healthy home at the end of the day. I will share my slides. I did include the link to this program offering, which provides more specifics and leads folks directly to the program application. So I'll share that with the group afterward. And then this brings me to our next program. This is MCE's Home Energy Savings Program. And this program, basically it was launched last year, but it is relaunching at the end of this month and has been expanded to provide more services. And so this program offered in Marin, but is also offered throughout MCE's service area. And essentially we created this program because we found that there was a gap between programs where the income guidelines were essentially up to 200% federal poverty level and market rate programs, and essentially created kind of like a gap for folks who weren't able to participate in market rate programs, but we weren't able to serve. And so while this program focuses solely on energy efficiency measures, there are a handful of health and safety benefits that just come with energy efficiency measures. And so I'll touch on that in a minute, but again, this program is serving what we are calling moderate income residents. So it's 200 to 400% of federal poverty level. And this program is offering a free energy savings gift box in which you will receive water and energy efficiency measures, as well as tips for home health and safety. Once you receive your kit or sign up for your kit, you also sign up for a virtual home assessment. And at that assessment, our home energy advisors will not only help you to install the measures in your gift box, but walk through your house and help you identify additional health or energy efficiency modifications needed. And then based on that home energy assessment and what the client may need in their home, we are also expanding the program again at the end of this month to include no-cost energy efficiency upgrades. And those upgrades could be, large measures from like air sealing and full insulation, which again, improve the health and safety of a home by keeping out pests, closing up air leaks, which might be bringing in poor indoor air quality, to things like furnaces and water heaters, which could be broken or inoperable. Again, heat and climate presents a health and safety issue for folks, as well as electrification measures. So again, we find sometimes, say if folks have like wood burning equipment that's adding a lot of poor indoor air quality, or combustion appliances just aren't, are again causing issues for the residents. And so we are offering electrification measures at no cost in this program as well. And so once again, I did include a link to our website, which provides more information on this program, and which is where an individual would go to sign up directly to receive their kit and assessment and so forth. And I will stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you, Sybil, for inviting her to our program. The next one, it will be my pleasure to introduce Marin County Fire Chief Jason Weber for the last session of presentation about fire measures to implement inside of your house. Chief Weber, okay, I'll give you a little introduction. Chief Weber has been Marin County Fire Chief for 9 years, in the department for 26 years. As part of his duties, Weber also serves as Ross Valley Fire Chief and Ross Valley Paramedic Authority Executive Officer. When I asked Chief Weber if he has somebody from his department to come and make the presentation for us, he said he has a soft spot for seniors. I really like that, so I want to say that and let everybody know. Thank you, Chief, for coming. There you go.
Thank you, Sylvia, and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and being in the fire service and emergency medical services, certainly we enjoy our customer interaction with seniors in the community, but we'd much rather be engaging with you on a positive level than when you have a fall or some emergency in your house. So today we'll talk a little bit about some of the items that we see and things you can do to avoid that. And, you know, big thank you to Tanique, Tim, and Michelle for the information they provided, because it really aligns well with some of the risks that we see in emergency services. So I'm going to go through these tips, and I'll also I'll share another page with Sylvia that she can distribute to the group. But it's healthandaging.org has a lot of great resources and checklists. So if I skip over stuff a little too fast for you today, certainly you can find this information online. But you know, to start, keeping emergency numbers handy. I think we all know 911. You can reach poison control through that. But other numbers that are important are family members or caretakers numbers. So if you call us to your home and either you're confused or you don't have the information available, having numbers written down where we can call a sibling, a neighbor, you know, a child, adult child, to come and assist, or for us to get information from, is important, as well as who your healthcare provider is. So we take you to the right receiving facility if you have to be transported in an ambulance, because your care is generally best served by the hospital that normally does that. You know, Tim covered a lot about fall prevention and items you can put in your house to avoid that. Falls are generally one of the biggest things we see in seniors, and in many cases they can be debilitating and even fatal as you get older. So it's really important that we avoid falls in the household and limit the risk associated with those. As mentioned, either through the program Tonique spoke about or Tim, but the Dignity in Home program, and getting a lot of that fall prevention stuff in your house is important. You can ask your own healthcare provider or reach out again to one of those community service groups that was referenced earlier. Don't rush to answer the phone. You've got an answering machine or something else, so take your time to get across the room or to answer a phone. When walking on smooth floors, make sure that you have slippers or an item with rubber on the bottom so you don't accidentally slip and fall. And if you have a cane or walker, make sure you're using it all the time in the household and it's readily accessible to you. Some safety proofing homes, things that you can do in your home, both from a fall perspective, but also just in general. Make sure the hallways, stairs, and paths are clear of items. We're not stacking up stuff where you're walking. Books, shoes are all things that people fall on regularly. Pets and animals also like to deposit their chew toys and other things in your path of travel. So make sure those are cleaned up regularly and not in the way. Use rails and banisters when going up and down stairs. This is really important. A lot of stairs are slippery. They either are wood or carpet, or you don't have the right shoes on. But we see a lot of falls on the stairs. So make sure you're holding onto that banister when you're going up or down. Tape all your area rugs down. I think a lot of us have area rugs that the corners come up a little bit, or it's just not an even surface. There's adhesive that you can put down on those carpets to keep them down on the floor. Also, I think as we age, we like our feet nice and toasty. A lot of those area rugs or rugs that we have in the bathrooms and others end up becoming fall hazards. So choose wisely and don't use them where it's not necessary. If there's a fire in your home, don't try to put it out. Just leave. Work on trying to get out of the house. There's nothing in the house that can't be replaced. So make sure that you get out, you go to a neighbor's, you call 911, or if you have a phone, your cellular phone or something outside, you call 911 from there. But don't stay in and try to put the fire out. When you're cooking, don't wear loose clothing or clothing with long sleeves. So we don't want a shirt or something to ignite and burn you when you're reaching across the stove. So choose your clothes wisely when you're in the kitchen. Replace appliances that have frayed or damaged electrical cords. Also, avoid putting electrical cords under area carpets or carpets that become a walking pathway. The cords can be damaged underneath there and ignite the carpet on fire. Same with furniture over the top of cords. Make sure you have a smoke detector installed in each bedroom and the general areas of the house. Additionally, make sure you have both smoke as well as carbon monoxide. Make sure any heating devices, fireplace or heaters, have 3 feet of clearance around them, so we're not piling up stuff that's combustible around heaters. If you're smoking, please try to do that outside. I know, we talked a little bit about, Michelle did, about internal, air quality in the house, and also just the safety around smoking. But if you're a smoker, we ask that you step outside and partake in that outside where it's a little bit safer, and make sure you have an ashtray out there. Stay in the kitchen when you're cooking. A lot of times unattended food smoke from a pot on the stove. We all get distracted. There's a lot going on in our lives. Phone rings, doorbell rings, whatever it is. So make sure you stay in the kitchen if you're cooking. Another piece that's really helpful for us in the fire department for the ambulance is that your address is clearly visible on the outside of the house, so we can make sure that we're at the right house where we need to be. Setting your thermostat and your water heater so your water is no more than 120 degrees is really important. We don't want anybody to be accidentally scalded, and you don't want to be heating water unnecessarily in your home. Having grab bars, and Tim mentioned this in his presentation, but grab bars installed in the shower near the toilet, areas where it's more difficult or slippery to get in and out. Rubber mats in the bathtub to prevent slipping is also important. We see a lot of falls in the bathroom specifically. And just by naturally, our systems, when we're sitting down, our vagus nerve has a tendency to get engaged when we're using the facility, and it can make you dizzy and you can fall. So those rails in the bathroom, non-slip pads in the showers and bathtubs are super important. Again, the use of a chair or some other bench in those facilities also is helpful. We talked a little bit about the carbon monoxide alarm. Make sure you're not using stoves or other items to heat your home. And if you are, and if it's because, maybe you can't afford to have a repair to your home heating and cooling system, there are community resources, as Tonique mentioned, and others that reach out and ask for assistance, and make sure you're using the right heating devices in your house, because it can be dangerous. Medications, keep all your medications in their original containers so you don't mix up the medicines. Ask your pharmacist to put large print labels on your medications to make them easier to read. Take your medications in a well-lit room so you can see the labels and make sure you're taking the right amount. And bring all of your pill bottles with you for your regular checkups with your physician to make sure that not only is your medication accurate, but you're taking it according to its directions. And then when cleaning in your house, make sure you're not mixing things like bleach and ammonia and other strong cleaning liquids, because it can produce gases that can be harmful to you. And I think also, and we see this unfortunately a lot with seniors, is protecting yourself against abuse. And I receive, I don't know how many phone calls a day on my home phone, or I was at my parents' the other day, and I think the phone rang probably 10 times, and it was all scams or some kind of thing. So keep your windows and doors locked when you're at home. Never let a stranger into your home if you're there alone. Talk over offers made by telephone or salespeople with a friend or family member that you trust. Do not share your personal information, Social Security, credit cards, bank information, etc. No one needs that unless if it's a trusted source. Always ask for written information about any offers, prizes, charities that they can wait for you to respond. There's never a need for you to respond immediately. Do not let yourself be pressured into making purchases, signing contracts, or making donations. It's not rude. You just need to take the time to review it and review it with a family member. And then a little bit about wildfire prevention, since we seem to be in a critical drought now, or extreme drought, and with no break in sight, especially without much rain. Maintaining defensible space around your home. So that's making sure that the bushes, trees, shrubs, etc., are the right plant choices. They're located, in proximity to the house, that they won't catch the house on fire if a wildfire starts near your place. Home hardening, so adding vents that don't allow embers to go into the attic or the spaces under your house. Make sure you're signed up for emergency notifications through Alert Marin, and that's the Marin County Sheriff's Office OES. Have a plan with a neighbor to wake yourself up or to assist you in the event of an evacuation order. Most of you probably aren't like these teenage kids with the phone right next to them all night long. So you may have a conventional landline or your cell phone charging in the other room, but often those are the devices we're notifying you on. So have a plan with a neighbor that they can make sure you're up and aware of the evacuation order and even assisting you to evacuate. Battery backup systems for garage doors are an important addition. Any new garage doors is required by law, but older ones are not. If you don't have a battery backup, are you physically able to open your garage door with the pull cord that's from the top? And if you're not, you may want to look at that as an investment. When we have red flag conditions, fire weather in the forecast, be aware of that, especially if you live in a hillside community, the wildland urban interface. Have a plan, make sure your neighbors know where you are so they can assist you if something occurs. All of this information and more is available from your local fire department, and we're happy to engage with you, including a home site visit to talk about some of the defensible space and home hardening items that I mentioned. And most recently, with the passage of Measure C and the funding of the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, there are grants available for all of those things I discussed, including home hardening, battery backup systems for garage doors, financial assistance for defensible space work around your house. We don't want you up on a ladder cleaning those gutters if it's a shaky place. So take advantage of some of the grant opportunities. For seniors with low income, we will have resources available to do a lot of that stuff for you. So I probably exceeded my time, but want to thank you all for having me here today. And again, these resources are available from your local fire department.
Well, thank you very much, Chief Weber. I actually met him, saw him at the first Firewise community meeting at the mobile home park, and he said, "Hey, you're my neighbor." So he lived right behind me, and his kids now sliding down the hills during the holidays. So there you go. We're going to go back to question and answers. Jason, you say you were going to send me the list, right? Okay, so you can unmute. Doesn't look like we have a lot of questions. So I think we're just going to go from the top to the bottom. We're going to go, the first question is from Lisa Brinkman. She was wondering if those programs presented, the grants that will be, those programs are specific for Marin County or around the Bay Area.
And
so I think that's the question, yeah.
Okay, and so the grants I was referring to are specific to Marin County, but many fire jurisdictions across the Bay Area are offering some kind of assistance to seniors. So I'd recommend that you reach out to your local fire agency.
Mm-hmm. And I think the same question is for the Dignity at Home, just all three presenters.
I'll jump in.
Well, I know the Dignity to Home, go ahead, Michelle.
The The MCE Healthy Homes program, so that is like the accessibility funding on top of LIHEAP, that is only in Marin County. The second program, which is the more moderate income, is available throughout all MCE service area, so Marin, Solano, Napa, and Contra Costa.
And the Dignity at Home program is offered in Marin County, and it was offered to all the AAAs throughout California. So it just depends on the county, but it is available throughout California.
And okay, so the next question is from Sobel. She was asking, do any other cities besides Sausalito offer a building permit fee waiver for accessible home modifications for older adults? And also for low-income people? Does anybody know that answer? You see in the chat? No? So if not, then I guess we'll go back and try to research it and come back. So Jenny has that. And Lisa asks, if somebody wants to use the medical service organization for home modifications, do they start the process with independent living, or if they went direct, who will pay for it? Especially in cases where the person may not qualify through the CIL. So I think that's the question. Center for Independent Living.
I'm sorry, I was having difficulty hearing you. The question again?
Says if somebody wanted to use the medical service organization for home modifications, do they start the process with Center for Independent Living, or do they go direct and who pays for it?
Are they referring to to have some type of home modification done? Maybe that's is that what the question?
Or does Lisa, you want to explain your question? Lisa Brinkman?
You're on mute.
Thanks. I think Mandy controls the muting. So my question was, if somebody wanted to use a home safety services, do they need to start the process by calling Center for Independent Living, or do they call the safety services directly? And if they qualify for the low income, and if they do not qualify for low income, how do they access the service? So there's two questions.
So it depends on what you're requesting. If you're talking about the Dignity at Home program, or you want specific modifications and you need assistance with financial assistance with that, then you could call me directly. If you have the ability to pay, then you can contact him directly.
So just to clarify, so if I needed grab bars in my house and I wanted to, say I had a fall and I needed to assess the bathroom and maybe even the kitchen or something, and I was low income, I would start the process through you. I wouldn't call Home Safety Services directly.
That's correct. You can go access our website, and the program is for Dignity at Home.
Okay, thank you.
Also, to add to that, just for anybody in Marin County that's a veteran, all these services are 100% provided by the VA.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is from Alan. He asks, can somebody describe what is a Hoyer lift? H-O-Y-E-R lift.
Okay, a Hoyer lift is, I wish I had a picture. It is a device to assist individuals to get out of their bed or out of a chair, and you can, by By chance, Tim, would you happen to have a picture of that? You're on mute.
I'm trying to access all my pictures really fast, so go ahead.
Okay, I would
keep
think you have
talking.
one. Okay, so it will assist you in helping get the person out of bed or out of their chair to help move them from one place to the other. Great, perfect.
Yeah, and you know, it just needs one person to operate it.
Exactly.
So a single caregiver, say it's a very large person, very hard to move from the transfer from the bed to wheelchair. It's an amazing device.
Mhm.
Thank you. And Alan has a follow-up
Thanks, Tim.
question. He has a follow-up question about a caregiver list of MCIL. Can you just
Oh, okay. Yes, they can contact our registry department and speak with either Mary Botel or Deborah Howe, and they will be happy to provide for you that registry list.
All right. The next question is about renters. Sue Allen asks if the renters can directly apply for home improvements. If you rent,
Yes,
they can do that. Through the same process, I guess.
yes.
All right, thank you. Lauren Longcrest, she asks, how do you measure the efficiency of the Dignity at Home and home modification programs?
Once again.
Wow.
Will you be able to, or have you done that?
I did.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So is any way did you measure how efficient your programs are?
So I know under Dignity at Home, some of the criteria that was set forth by the grant is follow-up after the initial home mods are installed. So it's you know, it's difficult to quantify an evaluation on somebody who doesn't fall. So it's not tangible because we don't want them to fall. We hope they don't fall, and if they don't fall, they don't contact us. But I know under the Dignity at Home program, there's follow-up. I think 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and I'm not sure if that was part of Marin's RFP. But I do know it was another, so that there is a follow-up process, and it takes a look at the entire home and the patient and how well they're getting along post home mods installation.
Tim, I just want to add to that. I'm Janae Cottrell, the program manager for the Area Agency on Aging, and Tim is right. This was something that was required, and to just follow up with Lisa's question earlier about where else in the state the Dignity at Home is being offered. As Tim mentioned, it was really up to each area agency on aging whether to pursue this. And Marin, we decided to pursue that. Many other AAAs, as we call them, have, but not all. So if there's a particular area of California that you're wondering about, Lisa, I would suggest finding out, and we can help you with that too, what the local area agency on aging is, and through that process you could find out.
I do know one of the criteria that's been studied nationally is readmission rates into local hospitals for falls, and where there are programs like this, there is shown to be a decrease in readmission rates and also reported falls related ER visits.
All right, we're pretty close to the time, so we're just going to go with the last question. And there's a lot of suggestions and link in the chat, so maybe we can send some of the chat to you guys, or you can copy it down. The last question is MHA working with any of you to upgrade existing low-income senior housing sites to support low-needed upgrades to existing complexes? And thank you for the presentation. That's what I say.
I can jump in on this one. So Marin Housing Authority is a partner of ours on the MCE Healthy Homes program. And so that way that works is essentially like referrals from MHA to us and from us to MHA. And what will happen is essentially like coordinating on the scope of work that's needed for a home. Again, when it's above and beyond what MCE Healthy Homes can cover in terms of cost, to make sure that it's as little to no cost to the resident. And again, we're still covering all measures, all upgrades needed. So they are partner with us on that program.
Okay, thank you. And because we never asked Chief Weber, so here's a question for you. So many people have eliminated their landline. Does the chief recommend keeping it? I think that's a pretty important question.
Yeah, great question. And the conventional landlines are becoming less and less as more people move to what they call VoIP, or voice over internet protocol phones, which is what your cable company or an internet company offers. And generally they don't work in power outages and have susceptibility. So we do recommend, if you live in an area that has very limited cellular coverage, you know, up in the hills and in higher risk areas, that you maintain a conventional landline, which is the AT&T or Pac-Bell copper lines in your house. There is some susceptibility to that system as well, as we found during the last power shutoffs. But that conventional line is the most stable at this point. And really you have to weigh it on what other options do you have for notification systems. We're working on additional low-tech options for notifications here in the county as part of the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority. And as those become available, we will certainly reach out to our senior groups.
Great, thank you, Chief. And you know, as a commission on our commission, one of our concerns is how do we reach senior adults who are really hard to reach? You know, especially the ones who doesn't have internet and you know, who just pretty recruit. So I'm not sure how we can work together to get the list. You know, so when we do our outreach to have presentation like this, they can be invited as also, you know, as well. So maybe we'll talk to you later, or everybody that's on this list, to help us accomplish that. So I think that's all we have. Do we have Lee Poland? You want to say hi before we adjourn the meeting? Because this is my first time chair this meeting, a little bit nervous, but that's our director for. Yeah.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, Sylvia. You did a fantastic job. We'll have to have you do this again. Thanks so much to all of our speakers. Such valuable and important information for everyone here, and please share it widely in the community. We're pleased to be able to have this Dignity at Home project to offer, as well, of course, as all the great advice from Chief Weber and what MCIL and Green and Healthy Homes already have and are doing. So we'll see you soon at the business meeting.
Thank you. And yeah, thanks everyone. Everybody, and if you have questions, give us a call.